I bet you have wondered about why some animals age faster or slower than others. We often hear about dog years, the idea that 1 calendar year for a dog equals 7 human years. It is a charming concept, but it is also a vast oversimplification. While some animals do age incredibly rapidly compared to us, and others move through life at a glacial pace, the science behind it is far more fascinating and nuanced than a simple multiplication table. Let us really dig into what is going on. The secret behind animal aging is simpler than you think, and also far more complex than that 7 years rule. If it were just about size, then a tiny Chihuahua and a massive Great Dane would age at the same rate relative to humans, which is not true. And then you have animals like parrots living for decades, or tortoises for over a century, defying simple size-based logic. Clearly, something else is at play here, and it is not a one-size-fits-all explanation. Let us demystify aging together really quickly. At its core, aging, or senescence, is the gradual deterioration of functional characteristics in a living organism over time. It is the accumulation of damage at the cellular and molecular level, leading to a decline in physiological integrity. Think of it like a machine slowly wearing down. Cells become less efficient, DNA gets damaged, and systems start to break. This process is not random. It is intricately linked to an animal's biology. It starts with the metabolic rate hypothesis, a foundational idea. This theory suggests that an organism's lifespan is inversely proportional to its metabolic rate. Essentially, the faster an animal lives, meaning the higher its metabolism, the more energy it burns, the faster it ages, and the shorter its life. Think of a tiny shrew, constantly buzzing with energy, living for a mere year or two. Compare that to a slow-moving giant like a whale. This leads to the classic live fast, die young adage. Animals with high metabolic rates generate more reactive oxygen species, often called free radicals, as byproducts of energy production. These free radicals can damage cells, proteins, and DNA, accelerating the aging process. So, a creature constantly revving its engine might wear out faster than one idling along. It is a compelling idea, but like many things in biology, it is not the whole story. The key is that while metabolic rate plays a role, animal size also often correlates. Generally, larger animals tend to live longer than smaller ones. An elephant lives far longer than a mouse, and a blue whale outlives a dolphin. This is not just because they move slower. Larger animals often have slower metabolisms per unit of body mass and have evolved better defenses against cellular damage simply because they have more cells to protect over a longer period. Now, imagine some fascinating exceptions. The metabolic theory and size correlation are not perfect. For example, bats are small mammals with incredibly high metabolisms, yet many species live surprisingly long lives for their size, some over 30 years. Or parrots, which are small Tumdium birds but can live for decades. This tells us there are other powerful mechanisms at play that allow these animals to defy the general trends. What is fascinating is how evolution shapes longevity. An animal's lifespan is a trade-off driven by its environment and reproductive strategy. If you are a small prey animal constantly hunted, there is less evolutionary pressure to invest in long-term cellular repair mechanisms. Your chances of making it to old age are slim anyway, so resources are better spent on rapid reproduction. Building on that, this leads to a fundamental biological trade-off: survival versus reproduction. Species facing high predation or harsh environments often mature quickly, reproduce early and frequently, and have shorter lifespans. On the other hand, animals with few natural predators, or those that invest heavily in parental care, can afford to live longer, growing bigger and wiser over time to protect their fewer, more valuable offspring. The foundation is cellular maintenance. Longer-lived species often exhibit superior mechanisms for DNA repair, protein quality control, and defense against oxidative stress. It is like having a better maintenance crew for your internal machinery. They are better at cleaning up cellular junk and fixing damage before it accumulates. This requires energy, so there is a cost, but it pays off in extended lifespan. To understand this, let us talk about telomeres. These are protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes, like the plastic tips on shoelaces. Every time a cell divides, telomeres get a little shorter. Eventually, they become too short, and the cell can no longer divide or function properly, leading to aging. Longer-lived species often have mechanisms, like the enzyme telomerase, to maintain or even lengthen their telomeres, allowing cells to divide more times. Adding to that, let us revisit oxidative stress. It is a major contributor to cellular damage. Longer-lived animals often have more robust antioxidant defenses, either through their diet or their body's own production of protective molecules. These antioxidants neutralize those damaging free radicals, preventing a cascade of cellular decay. It is like having a stronger shield against corrosive agents in your body. Here is where it all comes together. Genetics plays a huge role. Scientists have identified specific genes associated with longevity in various species. These genes often regulate pathways related to metabolism, stress resistance, and cellular repair. For instance, some genes can dial down growth pathways in favor of maintenance, extending lifespan. It is not a single longevity gene, but a complex network. Okay, picture this. One of the most surprising examples is the naked mole rat. These small, hairless rodents live up to 30 years, an astonishing lifespan for their size. They seem almost impervious to cancer and resist many age-related diseases. Researchers are studying them intensely to understand their unique cellular machinery, which includes incredibly efficient protein repair and robust stress responses. They truly defy the live fast, die young rule. First, consider the Greenland shark, an animal that can live for over 500 years, making it the longest living vertebrate on Earth. It grows incredibly slowly and moves at a snail's pace in frigid, deep waters, reflecting an extreme example of a slow metabolism. Its cold environment also likely slows down cellular processes and damage accumulation, allowing it to age at an almost imperceptible rate. Consider how an animal's environment heavily influences its aging. A consistent food supply, stable climate, and absence of predators can significantly extend an animal's potential lifespan compared to one living in a harsh, unpredictable environment. Stress, whether from lack of food, extreme temperatures, or constant threat, takes a toll on the body and can accelerate aging. Evolving from that, diet plays a critical role. Caloric restriction, for example, has been shown to extend lifespan in many organisms, from worms to monkeys. This is not about starvation, but about consuming fewer calories while still getting all necessary nutrients. It can activate cellular pathways that promote repair and maintenance over growth, essentially slowing down the aging process. What becomes clear is even human interaction can alter aging. Domesticated animals, like dogs, often live longer than their wild counterparts because they have access to consistent food, shelter, and veterinary care, and are protected from predators. This reduces many of the environmental stressors that shorten lifespans in the wild, allowing their inherent genetic potential for longevity to be more fully realized. Let us examine what we learn from nature's extremes. By studying creatures like the naked mole rat, the Greenland shark, and even tiny tardigrades water bears that can survive extreme conditions, scientists gain invaluable insights into the fundamental mechanisms of aging and resilience. These unique adaptations offer clues that could one day be applied to understanding and potentially extending human health span. Continuing on, the quest for anti-aging is often about mimicking these natural strategies. Research into sirtuins, mTOR pathways, and senolytics drugs that clear senescent zombie cells is directly inspired by how certain animals maintain their health and vitality for extended periods. It is about finding ways to boost our own cellular repair and protective systems, much like long-lived species do naturally. Ultimately, the point is that animal aging is not governed by a single factor. It is a complex interplay of metabolic rate, body size, genetic predispositions, environmental pressures, and the efficiency of cellular repair mechanisms. There is no single why, but rather a sophisticated symphony of biological and ecological factors dictating how quickly an animal's clock ticks down. The takeaway? The dog years myth, while cute, completely misses the incredible complexity and beauty of how different species have evolved their unique aging profiles. From tiny, rapidly reproducing insects to slow, ancient whales, each creature's lifespan is a finely tuned balance between survival, reproduction, and the constant battle against cellular wear and tear. It is a testament to evolution's ingenuity, and there is still so much more to learn.